And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 17. I'm TJ.
And I'm Kent.
And as you guys can tell from the title of this episode, this is the Christmas special. And no Christmas special would be complete without our favorite ladies, Genevieve Jones and Sarah Albrecht. Ladies, welcome back to the show.
Howdy ho!
What just happened?
She just pulled out the Christmas poo.
Sarah and I are very close, and I have never heard you do anything like that before.
I just felt like going with it because it's the Christmas special. So
I mean, okay.
I'm just high on Christmas cheer.
All right,
yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. any 90s South Park Christmas reference is always welcome. But with that, folks, so to keep aligned with our topic of discussion tonight, we're going to be talking about Christmas gift ideas for that pew-pew lover in your life, as well as some considerations for your own personal safety when you're out and about doing your last-minute shopping for those loved ones in your household and family. So, Kent.
Yo.
Let's start with some of these awesome Christmas gift ideas, man. So you're the instructor. You're a resident expert on training and sharing of knowledge and skill set. What are some awesome Christmas gift ideas for those folks out there?
Buy them a cerebral present, not a physical present. Let's get a class. Let's get a certificate. Not just for me, actually probably like less for me than from some others. Send them somewhere cool. Pay for ammo. Buy books. My message is about knowledge on this one. I want to see people get experiences, not things. But then again, we like things too, right? Shiny, metal, pew-pewy things. We like those. But my contribution to this would be buy a gift certificate to a training class or ammo or something to help them continue the cause and to better what they're already doing. So that would be my general contribution.
That's a fantastic idea, and I don't think it's one that's actually thought of enough, really. So, I mean, we talk about this on the show all the time, that there's a significant lack of interest in training. That's one of the reasons we do the show. But to help maybe some of the family members out there who aren't the shooter in their life, right? What are some great ways to do that? Should they just find an instructor, reach out and say, hey, I'd like to pay for my husband or my wife to go to take a class from you? What are some of the processes that you've seen in the industry to help those people make those purchases of that education and training?
So if you're savvy, you can check out your partner's social media, see the people they're following and interacting with, and what kind of stuff they're like. In 2 seconds, your wife or my wife knows who we talk to and where we want to go and what kind of things we would enjoy, right? I mean, we've been talking about these classes all year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In my household, there's literally we're building a training calendar. We know where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be, sometimes at an expense and sometimes at a profit. But the point is that that's a big part of my life. If it's not a big part of your life or your significant other's life yet, maybe the best thing you can do is just free up the financial resources to help them do it. It's we make stuff about the kids all the time, right? And about the little ones. And, my wife just surprised me tonight with a new lawnmower. I walked into the garage from being away for work for 2 days, and there was a busted lawnmower that I was working on in the garage, and now it's been replaced by a brand new one. So, y'all are crafty when you have to be. People can pull things off. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a class, a book. If we're going to do some examples, Refinement and Repetition by Steve Anderson costs $19.99 on Amazon right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're dry firing and you're not reading Refinement and Repetition, you're doing it the hard way. It's $20. Throw it under the tree. And there's a bunch of good sources like that. So we can put together a list. We can do all kinds of stuff for people, but that's a good place to start.
Absolutely. So, Sarah and Genevieve, I'd really love to get some of your input on this. Sarah, I'd like to start with you because and we've talked about this on the show before, but you are actively involved in junior shooting, educating junior shooters and getting them out on the range through your work with the RSO program. So what are some of the gift ideas that you have, maybe for the younger shooters in the family?
That's a great question. And it's cool because we just had our winter competition. And so we were able to, one of the things that we do for our winter competition is we lay out a whole table of prizes, and the kids can, as we score their targets, then we rank to see who gets to choose gifts first. So it's always fun to see what kids want to be choosing from this table. And we have things out. We had a number of airsoft guns. The kids really went for those. We had a youth size bow and arrow set that was a hot item to fight over. We also have a number of things like shooting vest out there. In our program, we have patches for different ranks. And so having something that the kids can show off the patches that they've earned, that they really appreciate that. And it's always sad when the kids start to outgrow their shooting vest. And so it's a great gift to just, keep in mind, are my kids outgrowing any of their shooting gear? Do we need to be, getting eye protection, for example, that is a little bit larger, which is a safety thing too. Kids grow really fast. And so you want to make sure that any of their shooting equipment is appropriate for their height, for their strength. Like you wouldn't purchase a larger, heavier rifle for a little kid and expect them to be able to handle it. You want to get something. We start out in our league, kids using crickets. So, just making sure that they have gear that's appropriate for their size and that they're comfortable with is really a helpful hint if you're a parent whose kids are into shooting. Things that help with comfort as well as the kids go up in the rank. They go from a prone position to a kneeling position. So things like bean bags or foam wedges. We have things that kind of help to prop up the kids and make sure that they're stable as they're maintaining a position for each relay. So gear like that can be really helpful as kids advance. And then as kids go to different regional competitions, having a range bag with wheels on it is really helpful for kids who are into competitive shooting. And that way they're not just lugging around a duffel bag to, all the different, because sometimes they're laid out with a couple different courses, and to have to carry equipment can be really difficult. So a good upright range bag with a place to kind of set, rifle and gear and everything, but with wheels. And there's some hard case ones out there. That's a great gift for a kid who's involved with shooting sports.
That's some awesome feedback. And just to add on to that support equipment, being a 3-gun competitor, even just shooting USPSA where you don't have 3 guns to lug around, probably one of the best investments I made for that with regards to support equipment was one of those collapsing wagons that you can get from your local sporting goods store.
Yep.
Oh my God, $40, $45, maybe 50, 55 at the most. And I'm telling you that it, collapses down. You can fit it in any car trunk, bed of the truck's not even an issue.
Yes, but TJ, they're great to have. And I have to say, if you're lugging around equipment and if your kids are lugging around equipment, it does affect your performance. If you are fatigued from carrying around, bags of heavy equipment, and then all of a sudden you have to shoot it, at the next round or whatever, and your muscles are sore because you've been lugging around everything. It does affect your performance. So just keep that in mind too. If you have someone who's into competitive shooting, some of that support gear, people really go fancy on firearms and ammo, which are great too. But if you don't have good support gear, then it's you still have to lug around the fancy stuff. So
I use a baby stroller.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No,
I need a picture of that.
You'll get it.
There is a whole underground black market for old jogging baby strollers in the shooting competition world. Yes,
it's legit, and people add stuff to them. I mean, my dad has one. He got an old baby stroller from a friend of his that didn't need it anymore, and he tricked that thing out, man. He added separate compartments to store your ammo and your speed loaders. He shoots revolver. And I mean, it's crazy. He's got like a tricked out baby stroller. It's awesome.
Yeah, I had so before I went to the wagon, I actually had a moving dolly that I zip tied an old milk crate to.
Nice.
Oh, the SHOT Show
that
milk
works.
crate.
The SHOT
Oh,
Show.
it
You'll
worked.
see.
Okay.
Hey, it worked beautifully. I'll tell you that. But what I did was I went and got some of those, for like ATV handlebars where you got like the forks with the rubber teeth in them. You can slide your gun into. Works perfect. Works absolutely perfectly.
That's great.
But yeah, so Genevieve, I'm really curious about, especially with your association with the Gun Collective and John, of course, the man who has everything. I gotta say, I kind of feel bad for you.
Thank you.
it's like what do you get a guy like that? So I'm really curious to hear what your input is on this topic.
It is literally like 99% impossible to shop for John. I mean, I have never met somebody who just has so much of one type of thing. Like when it comes to gun stuff, there isn't anything that I could afford that I could get him that he doesn't already have or like is getting to review or something. And that sounds like super stuck up of me to say, and I don't mean it to come across that way. He's worked hard to get to where he is. Just it's so impossible to shop for him. So every year I have to get him something that is completely non-gun related, which isn't really that fun. But I mean, there's nothing else. Like this year, the only thing that he wanted was shirts that fit him because he's lost weight. So clothes, like all the boring stuff. I could like put a pack of socks in his stocking and he'd be like ecstatic about it. I guess that's how you know that we're getting old. I don't know. But he's very, very, very hard to shop for. The best present that I ever got John was a class. So Kent, going back to you here, it was a class to learn how to be a blacksmith. So he actually got to forge his own knife, and that was probably the coolest Christmas present that I've ever gotten him.
No, I remember seeing those posts on his Instagram feed.
Yeah,
and that little blacksmith knife he made actually came out very, very good.
He still has it. We use it to open boxes. It still works, and we've never even had to sharpen it. I mean, the guy who instructed the classes was fantastic. I was really lucky to even get one spot. I really wanted to take it too, but he is just like booked out for years in advance. So it's crazy. But
if you don't mind me asking, who was the class with?
Don't remember. I knew you were going to ask me that.
No, I
I
was wondering if it'd be somebody like somebody at least that I know of. Brian Brazil.
No, it was nothing like that. It was some dude that lives like in Lancaster that owns his own shop and stuff. But it was not like they don't have like a social media presence or anything like that.
No,
they're in Lancaster.
Right, exactly.
So but see,
right?
Yeah.
No, but see, you brought up an excellent point, Genevieve. It's that when you've, especially, let's just take into account, like most of our fathers, right, and grandfathers and stuff like that. These are people that have, despite whatever success that they might have from their current position, but these are guys that have like accumulated all these tools, all these different pieces of equipment, all these firearms and whatnot throughout the course of their lives. So it's really hard to buy for people like that. But I will say this, in the firearms community, especially coming from the male side of the discussion, some things that we really appreciate is the other stuff that we nerd out on.
Mm-hmm.
So blacksmithing, those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook know that I also do knife making. I've started dabbling in blacksmithing. I've still got a long road to go, or a long road ahead of me with that one. But still, stuff like that I can really nerd out on. And it's relatively simple. So even a class like that, most people that are into guns are also into some type of science and engineering. So like mechanic type sets, stuff like that. And, those mechanic sets also work on fixing guns oftentimes. So no, I think that's a fantastic gift idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the blacksmithing, that would be awesome.
Also for anybody who is trying to figure something out, you mentioned dads and grandfathers and stuff. Last year I got my dad one of those ammo bots. He's a big reloader. Those
Oh,
are
cool.
really expensive. So I'm not just saying like, yeah, go purchase your, go down to your local gun store and buy an ammo bot for your dad. But like if someone's into reloading that, maybe like some dies or brass or something that is kind of like, I don't know, in my opinion, those are things that are like annoying to buy. It's fun to reload, but stocking up on everything, it's like, this is expensive and I have to haul it everywhere. It's just irritating. I wish it was just here. So if anybody knows a reloader, that's something you can think about too.
So I'm glad you brought up reloading. And Kent, I think you know where I'm going to go with this one. Folks, there is nothing wrong with getting your kids, especially, but even for that man in your life, or even the woman in your life that's into shooting, getting them into reloading, because I'm telling you from experience, that is actually an event that the entire family can participate in. I will go out so I've got 2 reloading presses. I've of course got my Dillon 650, but I've also got a Lee Precision single stage. My 10-year-old son and my 4-year-old daughter will go out and help daddy make bullets, be it trimming brass or resize it, whatever it might be. They are all about it, and they love helping out with that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, it's a great thing. So Kent, let's talk about reloading a little bit, because I know that you've got quite a stock of presses. What are some of your favorite, presses that you would recommend for somebody starting out?
Oh man. So first of all, Genevieve, if you're wondering, for Christmas, I would love an Animo bot. I'm just saying. That would fucking solve all of my life's problems.
Yeah, Ken, I love you, but definitely not as much as I love my dad. So sorry.
Well, I get it. But maybe you could just like send Sarah over to my house to pull the lever.
Yeah, right. Or maybe my dad can like adopt you for a week, and you can just use his. Make all the stuff you need.
I just can't. That would be amazing. That said, let's not start small if we're going to do it. I really hate the idea of get them a single stage and work their way into it, because it's going to be at a garage sale in 3 years or 2 years or a year. Just buy a Dillon and be done with it. And since I'm Mr. Cerebral, let's buy them manuals, lots and lots of loading manuals. That way they can
classes, right? I mean, there are reloading classes.
Are there reloading classes?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And it will walk you through it and show you all different types of equipment and how to use them. So if you have someone, you don't want it to end up in a garage sale. The way to help is to get people familiar with that whole process. And so finding a class on reloading just to tie into the educational theme, but also reloading, that's a great option too.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, we are getting some feedback in the chat. So first of all, Izzy is with us. Izzy's watching.
Hi, Izzy.
Yeah, Izzy. Also, our beloved friend Cam Hayes is watching as well. Cam, as you know, is our resident long-range sniper expert. Also, reloading wizard. But Cam brings up an excellent point in the chat is for those Christmas ideas, one thing to watch out for is buying powder, reloading powder. Unless you know exactly what that reloader in your life uses or what they should use, say consulting a professional or a reloading manual yourself, shouldn't buy them powder. That's just one of those things that can be really dangerous, because there are elements of danger when you're dealing with explosives.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, excellent point, Cam. Thank you for bringing that up.
Good call.
But yeah, go ahead.
How about we buy our loved ones some medical gear and medical training? Bingo.
It's an excellent point.
And maybe if we used code BB15 at darkangelmedical.com and maybe put in Sling'N podcast in the notes, maybe it would save us 15% on the endeavor. Just saying.
Wow.
Somebody, wanted to do such a thing.
What was it, BB15?
BB15. Yes. I don't know why it's BB, but it is. And then you put Sling'N podcast in the notes, and then Carrie Davis will not hunt you down with a machete and murder you for using a fake promo code. That is how you do it. But get like tourniquets. Tourniquets are good. Chest seals are good. Kits are good. Medical training is good. Let's see. How about?
So, by the way, the Gun Collective has joined us in the chat this episode.
Hi,
Is
John.
yeah. We're expecting that this is actually John and not Genevieve.
Wait.
Yeah, if you're
Not
here,
me.
it's got to be John.
Wait, John said shameless pug. I love those dogs. I don't see the problem.
Pug?
But,
Why would you say?
He meant shameless plug. But he actually brings up buy everyone black powder. It'll be fine. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
John, I'm not buying you black powder. Ever.
He's trying to drop a hint in the chat.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe he is. Oh my goodness.
So, hey, speaking of black powder, I will say this though, another excellent gift idea. If we're talking about those people that have all these cool modern technologies in firearms in their collection, those like I think it's made by Traditions predominantly, but there are some other brands out there. But there are traditional black powder rifle and pistol kits that are functional. And I'll tell you what, those are a lot of fun to put together. I've actually got a black powder pistol that I put together for my kit. Maybe $100-$150, so a little bit on the higher end if you might be on a budget. But still, even for $150, it gives you an opportunity to do some woodworking, some metalworking, really fitting this thing together, and you can really make an heirloom quality piece if you put some time into it. So
That's neat.
So all about those gifts that you can also do with your family, right? So especially if you got the kids, got to get them involved in it, got to get them interested. So any of that quality time is pivotal.
How about a vehicle safety kit?
A what?
Vehicle safety kit.
Vehicle safety kit is good too.
Battery charger, jumper thing, flashlights, that kind of shit. I'm just preparing for doomsday over here. I'm sorry. I'll go back to my particular corner of the internet. And
it's Christmas.
Go ahead.
We're getting ready for Christmas, not the purge.
What it's kind of the same in my house, to be honest with you. So it is what it is.
Ken just wants like 50 cans of beans, some MREs, like a water purifier,
and a week with your dad. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Back to the idea about reloading too, especially if there are significant others out there who are not necessarily, aware of the different things that they might want, might not even know where to start. Having a work environment in order to do reloading is something that you don't have to be an expert in order to help set up. So if you find a great sturdy workbench, or you get good lighting, or you get a nice, a trash can that you can put things in, or place to recycle brass or something like that, or, a great, like a mat on the table to make sure like you can just pick up and any debris, you can easily clean it up. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, shopping in a catalog for something that is a specific reloading item, but you can really create an environment that facilitates reloading or whatever hobbies they're into if you're not sure about specific equipment to buy.
So
I've got a confession to make. I look forward to every time we kind of rearrange the house, or we get ready to move, or we add a new shed or a garage, because I get to build another workbench.
Mm-hmm.
It's downright sad how often how much I like to build workbenches. I might not even use them for much, but just being able to build a sturdy and I build every workbench with the intent of using it to reload on, because you've really got to anchor those things down properly. And yeah, it's kind of sad. There needs to be like a Benchmakers Anonymous.
Do you have a workbench that is dedicating its whole life to building other workbenches?
Yes. Yes. And it's also every workbench that I build. It's almost like they multiply, because I'll build the new workbench on the workbench I just built.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
See, yeah. I'm telling you, workbenches.
I love it. So we've got some more participation in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
No.
Shocker of the century, Izzy wants tacos.
Of course.
Literally, that's what he wants for Christmas. He wants Taco Bell gift cards or Brown Ale gift cards. And John wants optics. Cheap red
Nice.
dots. So there you go. So if you're Santa over there, if you're writing down the list for your boys of what they want, one wants tacos and one wants...
They both have gifts already, so they can calm down.
Oh, shit.
I'm waiting for you to like snap with that.
Izzy, you
Calm down.
aren't far off from what I got you.
Apparently there's some tacos coming. So what do you girls want? What do the girls in our lives want?
My husband actually already gave me my Christmas present.
Was it the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's great.
Well,
Go ahead, say what it is, because it sounds really bad if you don't.
Yeah,
tell me what
really.
it is now.
Yeah, the murmurs and whispering are not
What's the
helping.
gift
Coffee
about?
pot, right?
Oh shoot, he did give me a coffee pot.
He got you multiple gifts this year.
He got me a it's a fancy one. It's like a Technivora Mocha Master, I think is what you say. It's amazing. I love coffee. No, he got me a Nikon P Tactical scope for I have a little 308 Ruger rifle, and
Ruger American.
So
is that the thing?
Well, I was talking about the scope, and Genevieve was like
the coffee.
the coffee maker.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
All
Batteries not included.
Yeah,
Sorry.
oh, Jesus Christ. We were doing so good. Ken. So good. Oh, God help us all. Anyway, what else would you ladies like?
I got Genevieve a gift.
You did. Look, I have it on. It's a little knife necklace.
Oh,
It matches mine.
It does.
I have a cleaver.
We're like awkwardly adorable.
And she is. I got her a little dagger, but that's grittyjewelry.com.
Yeah, if
So-
anyone's listening and they have a wife or a girlfriend that's not into like the regular jewelry type of stuff, check out that website because everything on it's really neat.
So I'm going to be that guy and point out that that's like the BFF necklace for women who like to watch the women who killed their husbands on that whatever that channel is that everybody watches that stuff on.
Like
Just
I can discover or whatever.
binge watching murderous wives television. Like, you know what? You be honest. Both of you have plotted your husband or significant other's demise, haven't you?
I will neither confirm nor deny that allegation.
No, we know. It's all good.
That's too funny.
I love how TJ was just like on that their TV thing on the show on the. With the knobs.
I don't watch
The box
cable.
that makes noise.
It's on the
I
talking
don't-
picture machine.
I don't watch cable,
Oh my god!
but I
really
am
cool.
I am familiar with the homicidal wife craze. But yeah, so no optics. You know, on the topic of optics, shameless plug number. What are we up to? 3 or 4 now. Code T Ramsey will get you 15% off at rightonoptics.com.
Nice.
And of course, they did just launch their new pistol red dot, the X3 Tactics PRD, which Kent, you have.
I broke it.
Did you really?
Kind of.
Good job, Kent.
Way to torture test it.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I know. I really want to buy myself something for Christmas because it's not something I would ever ask for anybody else, but I am having a really, really hard time not purchasing it, and I really, really need to not purchase it. I would really like a new bike, but the one that I want is $3,100.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's going to be like that what is it, that Buick commercial we see on all the YouTube channels where everyone just buys themselves a Buick.
Right.
Yeah, I Secret Santa'd myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, so Genevieve, I'm curious because those of us that know you know that you are an avid cyclist.
Yeah.
What makes so I never got outside the stage of Huffy and graduated straight. I graduated straight from Huffy to Honda and Harley Davidson. So
Nice.
what about this bike makes it that expensive?
She totally wants a Peloton.
Oh, I do.
Do you really?
I
I'm
want one
just-
so bad.
I
I'm
do
not even
too.
kidding. Like I
I do
really
too.
I'm
do.
just giving you crap because of that commercial.
I
Have you
really,
seen that?
I have, and I really want one. I would be the person on that commercial.
I want one too. The bike has really been helping me be less fat, and a Peloton.
I like your bike videos, Kent.
I have all these nice yoga pants and no reason to wear them for the rest of the winter because I don't have a Peloton. It's really upsetting me.
But
That's too funny.
dear God, help me.
But to answer TJ's question and save him from the misery of Kent and yoga pants,
No, let me clarify. God help me see that, because that's Instagram story worthy all day long.
100%.
Kent, I swear to God, if you do not come down here for the Scott Jedlinski Modern Samurai Project class with at least one pair of yoga pants, we are on a friendship pause.
Whoa.
Wait. I wasn't gonna bring pants.
Fair enough.
All right.
Better or worse?
We'll figure it out.
What the fuck? That's it. I'm out. God.
So what kind of bike do you want?
So it's made by Trek. It's called an Amanda, and it is expensive because the entire bike is made out of carbon fiber. So the whole thing weighs like 8 pounds, which is
light.
Yeah, it's not amazingly different from the one that I already have. I got the one that I have like 5 years ago. It's a Scatante. It's made by Fuji. It literally sounds like I'm speaking a different language. It probably is a different language. But the one I have is all carbon fiber. It's just older, and like the wheels are very specific and particular, and some of the stuff is falling apart and I can't easily replace it. I equate it to like owning a Mercedes. Like when something breaks, it's more expensive to fix it than it is just to get something else like a Honda.
Just burn it down and collect the insurance to buy another Mercedes.
Right.
But you have a big race coming up, right?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's 6 months from now, but it's like, I think it's 460 something miles.
Whoa!
It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to do it for a really long time.
And you even started a new Instagram today.
I did.
Yeah, you should tell them about that, just so they know you mean it about this bike.
I do. Well, TJ followed me. Thank you, TJ. But it's the new Instagram, it literally has one post, so it's really nothing special, but it's just Genevieve.Jones13. And I just kind of want to document my training and the ride in general, because it's a really cool ride and it gets some news presence and stuff. And I've been wanting to do it for a really, really long time, since I was like 19, and I just never had the time or the money to be able to do it. And it's going to be a really big challenge, but cycling is probably just as important, if not more important to me than firearms. I really love it. So I want to kind of let everybody into that side of my life too,
Oh, no, absolutely. And we appreciate you bringing us along for the ride. Pardon the pun. You see what I did there? But yeah, so no, Genevieve, that is fantastic. Everybody, you need to be following Genevieve, not only at her new Instagram, but also at her existing one for Beyond the Unknown. Some fantastic mental health advocacy and awareness that she puts on through her various social media feeds. So Genevieve, we love having you, and love you for all the work that you've been doing on both of those fronts, because it's helping guys like Kent and myself even get up and get motivated to start working out again. So you have an impact. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Thank you. That means a lot.
But with that, Izzy, our taco loving editor and producer, has actually mentioned another topic, and he's talking about carry-on bags and luggage. You guys have got SHOT Show coming up, and even those of us that might not make it to SHOT Show, abilities to carry all your stuff cannot be overstated. You need to have good quality stuff, and you can actually get really good quality for a decent price nowadays. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I'm a fan of Pelican cases, because if you're going to go travel to the classes that your wife or your husband got you got to have a way to secure those firearms and equipment, especially if you're going to travel by air.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some really good stuff out there. But I want to, while we're talking about luggage, I want to bring up kind of a taboo topic, I think, for Christmas gift ideas, and that is concealed carry purses.
Oh, you had to go there.
Vertex.com.
Oh yeah, good. Go to Vertex.
Like I seriously, 100%. I will endorse them forever. I've had their EDC sling bag since I turned 21 years old, and in times where I don't want to change my outfit in order to carry. I will carry in there. It's safe, it's reliable, it's easy access. If you practice, you have to actually practice drawing from this bag, just like you would with any type of carry option. But I trust Vertex's products a lot, and they're a lot more durable than just your average EDC purse that you can buy off of like Amazon or what. I don't even know where you buy those. I've never had one. I've tried a bunch, didn't like any of them, but Vertex has really cool stuff.
Yeah, and as I recall, the Gun Collective has a pretty awesome discount code for Vertex. Do you want to give that? You want to plug that a little bit? You're more than welcome.
I'm like really trying not to shamelessly plug myself on your podcast.
Go for it. No, we're here to help the viewers and the listeners. So by all means, you guys have got the resources that we don't yet. So by all means, if it's going to help people out, get some awesome equipment, then by all means, feel free.
Yeah, totally. So just use code TGC at vertex.com. I believe it's 25% off. I was just trying to look because I don't remember the exact percentage off, but it's a decent amount. Let me see if John has it up there. He doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's 25%, but go check.
Yeah, no, it was. I think that's right. It's a pretty sizable discount.
Yeah,
as discount codes go. So yeah, fantastic stuff right there.
Yeah, I wanted to say and maybe you can offer some comments on this too. I do occasionally carry in my purse as well, and like Genevieve was saying, like sometimes different outfits are having to change, like from a dress to like jeans or whatever. It can be really, if you have a couple different outfit changes in a day, sometimes having a purse that you can conceal in is an option that you might choose. What you want to make sure when you're looking for a concealed carry purse is that it fits your firearm and that it can be and that you have a holster to go with it, so it's not just just loosely sitting in the purse. You want to make sure that the trigger is completely covered, and another thing that I think that I've seen and that I always yell at people when they have a firearm carried in a bag is that you don't want to have a lot of junk in there that can get down in and have a pen get stuck in the trigger or like just chewing gum, like the random things in purse. You really want to have, or a bag, you really want to have a designated compartment that you can get to very easily, and that it stays clean, and that it is going to be very protected. That being said, just talking about safety, it's so important that if you are carrying your firearm off body like that, that you have eyes on that bag all the time, that you're not setting it down. If you're out at a restaurant, you pick up your purse and you go with you when you go up to the buffet or you go to the bathroom. It has to be part of you. You cannot just treat it like a random bag that, I don't care if someone picks that up. You really have to be extra vigilant. And if you're grocery shopping with children, you keep that bag on your shoulder. You don't set it down in the cart and then go look at something and, let whoever touch it, especially little children. So I definitely want to put that option about, if you're using that option, that it is 100% your responsibility to make sure nobody has access to that bag except for you, and that it's on your person at all times.
No, excellent point. I'm glad you brought that up, because at the end of the day, if you're going to put a gun in it, it's not a purse anymore or a bag, it's a holster.
Exactly. You have to treat it like a holster.
I would recommend too to get one that doesn't just go over the shoulder, but actually goes across, so that if somebody's coming by, they don't just snag it off of you. But yeah, and like something to say about Sarah too, like when we go out to eat, a lot of times she'll put it right on her lap, like not hang it on the back of the chair or anything like that. So she's very good about that when she does carry that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're talking about safety, I think it's a good opportunity to shift some gears here to safety considerations and just situational awareness considerations and being prepared for what you might face while you're out and about in public during the holiday season. As many of us know, the holidays are often a very emotional time for a lot of people. Even those that might not be going through an extra tough time or have that extra short fuse from, it being a sad time for them, remembering family members and loved ones that might have passed or, what have you. But there's just the added stress of trying to appease and please everyone and make sure everyone else is happy. And admittedly, we all get kind of selfish around the holidays because it's all about either me or me doing for mine, right? So we all kind of get into that mindset, and everyone's fuses get short across the board. You guys see I'm sure you guys see the fights, the grandma's going, fisticuffs over the Tickle Me Elmo at Toys R Us. That, no kidding, happened. 2 80-year-old women just knocking the shit out of each other in a toy store. Yeah. So witness that firsthand. That was fun.
You saw that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I was about 19 years old. It was my first Black Friday. I went shopping, Toys R Us in Florida, and it was right when Tickle Me Elmo came out, and it was the hot toy of the season. And these 2 old ladies got up out of their walkers to go for the last one and ended up throwing bows.
That is amazing.
It was
Florida man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Boy.
Of course, it's either Florida or Russia, one of the two. But with that being said, Kent, I'm sure you probably hammer this point home quite a bit. I'd really like to hear the type of input that you might have for some recommendation. You've obviously talked about medical equipment. You've talked about the vehicle equipment. Excellent points, all joking aside. But what are some good mindsets that people can have or take into account when they're out and about during the holiday season?
So distractions consume us, right? Like they always do. My advice is not going to be much different for Christmas than it would any other time of the year. But what I will say is this: you have a heightened number of people in the same place at the same time, right? Like there's more people in the shopping malls. There's more people out and about running around. It seems busier. It's getting dark earlier. This is that time of the year where it's 4:02 and it's effing pitch dark outside for some reason. So those of you who are trying to get your stuff done right after work or whatever, you're doing it in the dark the whole time. Carry something to illuminate your surroundings. Try to take just a couple seconds and realize that just because you have a million things on your plate, and this is just a respect to the moms and grandmas and girls out there who are always I'm going to be real with you. I don't do a goddamn thing for Christmas. There's a thing that a meme that was going around that the best gift I got my husband is the fact that he didn't have to do shit. And I'm going to tell you right now, so Sophie in my life is handling that stuff and raising a kid and whatever else, right? See all moms that are out there that are just stressed to the max trying to get all this stuff done. Don't put yourself second in your life or your personal life, your marriage, any of that stuff. Don't put your safety second either. Just because you have 1,000 things to do, turn your senses on, pay attention. The rules are no different just because it's Christmas. Another thing that will be taken advantage of very often is because of the holiday season. Predators now have the ability to walk up to you and use the panhandling holiday. I'm just the Santa guy. I'm just collecting money for this. I'm just doing that. Happy holidays. I now have an excuse to talk to you when, it wouldn't be normal otherwise to approach people like that in public. Just, if your spidey senses are tingling, they're probably tingling for a reason, and listen to them. That and there's nothing out there worth dying over. And it seems stupid that we should have to say that, but if you're going to put your hands on me over Tickle Me Elmo, I'm just going to order him on Amazon. I'm sorry. It just doesn't have to be that way. So just take care of you and your own. That's all.
That's a great point, Ken. And I just want to say it is not just paranoia to make comments about people coming up to women in parking lots. It's definitely, that's something that's happened to me. We're just selling this or that. And it's no thanks. And just keep walking. You do not try to negotiate with people and stand there and listen to a pitch in the middle of a dark parking lot. I personally prefer to shop with friends if I'm going out during the holiday season. And if I can't, then I shop during the day so that I have a little bit more awareness about what's going on in the parking lot so that I have better visibility. But it is a caring thing to remind people, especially women, who are shopping, just to be aware of even parking lots in strange situations like that. So
honestly, just to throw this in there, because it's something that I've been thinking about recently, with Felix, my 9-month-old shepherd. He comes everywhere with me, and like, other than helping me mentally, it is a huge deterrent for a lot of people, especially people who want to be creepy. I mean, like, Sarah and I go to the same grocery store locally, and we've both been hit on in really uncomfortable situations in the grocery store. And when Felix comes with us, it is literally like parting a sea of people. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't want to get within like 9 feet of us. And other than like, I got a service dog because I needed one. And that wasn't even something that occurred to me, that it would help me in defensive situations as well. And that's just something that's been on my mind lately. And I'm really thankful for that. And I just think it's cool. I don't know if you're in the position to be able to do so, get a dog you could take with you everywhere, because people who are up to no good don't want to come anywhere near that.
No, that's a fantastic point. That I will tell you this, especially maybe not so much for your cycling, but if you're a jogger or you're an avid walker or a hiker, take the dog with you. I take my dogs for walks every now and then. And when I can get her big butt off the couch, 140-pound Mastiff doesn't move all that quickly. But yeah, I'll tell you what, especially when we lived in suburbia in Virginia, actually in Charlottesville, and people would cross the street to walk on the other sidewalk when and she's a big lap dog, she's a big baby.
Right.
They were looking at you, bro.
So he looks like that guy from the Wanted poster. So excellent point. I actually wanted to bring up another point. So for those that don't know, I am an IT security guy, right? Specifically, I am a professional computer hacker, and part of that is to be a professional social engineer. So the people that call you with fake phone calls, try to get your password or your social security number or that type of information, it really picks up around the holidays. So specifically targeting elderly American senior citizens, people that maybe aren't very tech savvy. Here's the thing, criminals like that will shift gears and get more in your face with it. They might even be well dressed, Sunday best shirt and tie type stuff, coming up to you with a charity or some type of special cause or event. I don't even care if they're inside the store. Never, ever, ever fill out those cards with your phone number and your name and your email address. Just stay away from it. If you really want to, if you are a giving person, you want to donate to charities, if they're legitimate, ask them for the charity that they're a part of. Get home and look it up yourself.
Right.
Don't let anybody take your information down like that, because it's, once they get you talking, starts with your name, starts with your phone number, starts with your email address, ends with your social security number or your credit card information. Right? So guys, please avoid that. Kent and I have talked about doing a special on cybersecurity, where I kind of change hats from my shooting hat to my hacker hat, and really kind of hammer safety on the internet for you guys. I think that would certainly be something that everybody would maybe fall asleep to, but certainly something that would be helpful. So just wanted to throw that in there from that aspect, because social engineering does really pick up around the holidays.
I would watch that episode if you guys do that.
I would too. Yeah. If you enjoy studying social engineering, any book by Chris Hadnagy is really great. He is like the best person out there. Chris is awesome. Hi, Chris. He also started the Innocent Lives Foundation. And so if you care about cybersecurity, if you go to their website, what he's done is he's combined his extensive knowledge of cybersecurity with protecting kids and sex trafficking on the dark net. And what he does is he has a system in place with forensics that he's able to track down criminals in that realm. And so if a great gift to give to people who have everything is to support an organization that they care about and the Innocent Lives Foundation is one that I recommend if you care about kids and you have an interest in cybersecurity. Check that out.
No, absolutely. And truth be told, that was actually kind of the direction that Kent and I were wanting to take that particular podcast, or at least that episode to start with, was really to kind of help focus on cybersecurity, safety, and just safety on the internet in general for teenagers and people with children, right?
Yes.
Which
is how they get trafficked in the first place. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they are just innocently filling out surveys online. Or Chris was interviewed recently by the Wall Street Journal, and one of the quotes that he had given in there was about how kids, they are looking for help and attention online, or if they're maybe depressed and they're looking for some kind of help, and they put that personal information out there thinking that they're talking to someone who cares about them, especially during the holiday times. It's like you said, that can be really heavy for some people. And so it's really important to educate our teens, to be talking to credible people out there online and not just random strangers who are just trying to be predators. So great points.
And dating sites too.
Dating sites.
Like, be careful. I know someone who met somebody online, and they talked for it was a long time. It was months. And this lady ended up asking him for credit card information because she was doing charity work overseas and her computer got stolen and she needed to buy a new one and blah, blah, blah. And he was luckily smart enough to be like, well, crap, this obviously isn't real, but be careful there too. Cause that type of stuff is just, it's really scary.
And especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
So it's it sounds silly but if you're talking about Christmas and security, you have to be aware of those things. So
yeah, they'll tug on your heartstrings every chance they get. Fun fact though, Kent and I met on the internet.
We did.
Yeah. I mean, not the 5'7" blonde that I was expecting, but
wait. Let's tell the true story. You hacked my Farmers Only profile because my password was winter 2018. You got right in there.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah. By the way, folks, if you use a password of any combination of the season and year, please change it.
This is TJ's favorite subject ever.
I can't tell you how many times I get into networks with passwords like that.
Oh my goodness.
It's just at this point it was comical. Now it's just sad.
It's sad.
Well, now I know what to try if I ever want to hack somebody.
You would never do such a thing.
At that point, it's even hard to say it's hacking. It's like, oh, you left the door's locked, but your windows are wide open. Okay, thanks. But yeah, so be careful out there, folks. So with that, I think we've really about come full circle on this, guys. I really do. Kent, did you have anything else to add? Any closing comments? You've been grinning this whole time, man. You just either daydreaming the Christmas story of the Daisy Red Ryder getting to go hang out with Genevieve's dad for a week.
Oh my God. Stop. I'm so excited. No, I do have two things to add. We haven't talked about any guns. We have mentioned 0 guns tonight. And Glock just released a 22 caliber pistol. Yes. Yes. No, we're doing this. No, what? You don't like it?
I'm very
What? Let's hear it.
I think of all of the people in the world, probably, I'm the least disappointed out of anyone because I could not really care less about Glock in the first place.
The indifference is strong.
I know, I'm aware. I'm the only person in the gun industry who doesn't like shooting Glocks. Blah, blah. Okay, I get it. Get it out, everybody. But I just really, and I think what made me the most irritated about the whole situation was because I was actually kind of oh, is this going to be neat? Is it going to be some big bore thing? Are we going to, and it's legendary. And then they're oh, it's a 22 pistol. I'm like, what?
Wait a minute. The firearms trainer in you has got to be excited.
I know. I thought of that too.
What? No, not I thought of that too, Missy. This is the greatest thing for shooting and tooting and rooting in the history of gun stuff. This is fantastic.
I just don't.
It's wait. It's a 22 with an honest-to-God Glock 19 lower that I can put a real trigger pack in. Thank you, Overwatch. I will be making sure your shit works in this gun. And I can get out there and I can dry fire with 22. I'm the only person in the world excited about this, apparently.
I will take answers to questions no one asked for 1,000, Alex.
If you would fucking dry fire, we wouldn't have problems in the first place.
No.
And this is the solution.
I am maintaining that I suck because I'm fatigued from carrying all my shit around the range. I should have had a wagon the whole time.
No, the only wagon you have is the one full of excuses for not fucking doing this enough.
I know what I'm going to get both of you for Christmas. I'm going to get you couples counseling.
Well, he started it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Here's my issues with Glock. So first of all, Kent, to your point, you're right. It's not because there are already solutions out there that do the exact same. Glock just added their branding to and innovated stuff that was really already there. There are plenty of conversion kits that go right over top of your existing Glock frame. They suck. Admit it. They suck and they're unavailable, but it's there. I think where Glock really screwed the pooch on this one was, like, to Genevieve's point, there was all this pomp and circumstance. Mm-hmm. They released Gen 4. They released Gen 5 of all their guns, all their lineup, the MOS, nowhere near this level of pomp and circumstance and build up, right?
Yeah, they went full saint. They did go full saint. They did do that.
Something nobody asked for.
I asked for it. I literally emailed them about it.
Glock really loves you.
Yeah. Well, they better, goddammit.
One Christmas wish out of the millions of
letters.
people.
Yes. What you don't know, yes. What you don't know, Genevieve, is I've been writing them. This is John Patton from the Gun Collective. I demand. I've been doing this forever. I've wanted this for so long, and I'm the only person that's happy about it. And I'm going to be happy, just as happy as you can be. And I've got like 30,000 rounds of 22 that I've not shot at all because I've had no reason.
You've been patiently awaiting Glock to release.
I look at the Ruger Mark IV and I'm like, but you're not the same. And I put it down, and then I get it out and I go, but you're not the same. And then I put it down, and the SR22 sucks, and the Smith & Wesson 22 sucks, and the Walther 22 sucks. They all suck. So if this one doesn't suck.
Browning Buckmark 22s don't suck.
Yeah, you can't argue with that one, man.
For the purpose, wait.
I'm not talking about for training and dry fire, Ken. I'm talking about fun stuff.
It is fun. I'm the only dork in the world who thinks it's fun. That's fine. Just hope I'm there for your gunfight, because I'll be over there going, "Yay! Look at me! I dry fired," and nobody else did. So
well, I'm going to dry fire with the gun that I'm going to carry every day. I mean.
But it's the same thing now. Now it's the same thing.
I'm very upset. I'm gonna stop bickering.
No, you guys are. Speaking of which, deflection. You know who could use some firearms training and dry fire? Florida cops.
Oh my gosh!
Man.
Ooh. I was lit when I saw that.
Hold on. Mic drop.
Oh my God.
Soon.
Like, rip it off of your desk and chuck it across the room, mic drop.
Oh my God.
Legit.
I like this mic, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
Metaphorical mic drop.
American cops, please hear the sound of my voice, because I love y'all, and I've been fucking I've been the dude who's argued with my friends about supporting cops, right? And y'all done have to go and fuck up and shoot a UPS driver and fuck up. How in the Jesus goddamn hell do you run and hide behind civilians in a minivan? I'm fucking done. You goddamn pussy sons of bitches. No, that was fucking bullshit. Yeah. I'm so pissed.
Me too.
To see those dudes hiding and cowering like that behind a minivan with kids and crackers and fucking Cheerios in the back seat.
I know.
Come on. That was the worst. I'm so sick of that. That's the same county in Florida where they fucked up the school shooting, right?
They didn't go in,
Same county, but from what I understand, to be fair, it was a different police department.
Was it? I thought it was the sheriff's department. No,
It's heartbreaking. It
It's
really
very
is.
sad.
it's bullshit. It's so sad. So let's do something to solve that. Get with Will Petty or get with Phil Groff and get some fucking ROE training and learn how to fight around vehicles, please, cops, because you guys deserve to live too. But that was nonsense. That was just full tilt nonsense. And to be positive to the cops here locally in New Cumberland, we had an active shooter situation that a bunch of random cops handled great from 4 different departments. They did an amazing job. And you haven't heard about it. You know why? Because nobody had to die. So,
Right.
I'm sorry. If you're hiding behind kids like that, we're on a whole nother level. I don't give a shit. But this is the Christmas episode, so I'm going to drink my eggnog and be good.
Yeah.
I think
we should. That was my fault. I totally jerked up. We're all cruising down the Christmas holiday spirit highway, and Grandpa falls asleep at the wheel and jerks it into a cliff. No, but seriously, guys. Just be safe out there is the bottom line.
Be safe.
Yes, please.
Be safe out there. So don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm glad Glock came out with the 22 caliber, but good God, they didn't have to make it sound like the second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
So they went full Springfield, and you never go full Springfield.
They went full Saint. They really did go full Saint.
Yeah.
So let's get back on track. Let's hit the third topic, and then we'll close it out. What does Christmas mean to everybody on here? Because we've talked about all the stuff that it doesn't mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about why it matters to us as individuals, and why the family time is so important, and why we all should do more to be around for each other and take better care of each other. So aside from gifts and guns and fun and all this stuff, the best thing we can do is we can live to be here for another Christmas for our family. And we work on anything from weight loss to training to safety to all that stuff to be here. But y'all slow down for a second and be with your families, please. Because it can all go away real fast. Mm-hmm. So that's what Christmas means to me. So my question for my fellow panelists here tonight is, I would like to hear from each of you a really awesome family Christmas story. Do we have them? I know we have them. What's your favorite Christmas story? Like the cool Christmas moment, the sitting around with the kids, the getting a dog that likes to eat pumpkin and turkey. It doesn't have to be human. TJ, I'll start with you. What's your favorite Christmas story? What do you got? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
No, we can do this. So, yeah, long time ago now. God, I'm feeling old. But the Christmas that I got my Daisy BB gun, it wasn't a Daisy Red Ryder. It was a more modernized version than that. Multiple pump, actually had some real power behind it. And me, my dad, and my brother, after we all opened those gifts, all 3 of us went out on the back porch, and my dad taught my brother and I to shoot the BB gun that day. And man, we went through like all the BBs came in like one of those like milk cartons you get, like the ones from school with the cardboard. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, we went through damn near an entire box of those in that morning alone. And then all having a great time, and then disaster struck when we went to go have Christmas dinner. And we had the table set, all the plates had, all the plates were all filled up with plenty of food. And we stepped away to do something. I can't remember what it was, but we came back and my dad's turkey was gone. And there was a nose print in his mashed potatoes, and our lab at the time lady had mashed potatoes all over her face. And that's probably my favorite Christmas memory. That whole morning was awesome.
That's awesome. Lady ate the taters. What about you, Sarah? What do you got?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got
good. Okay. All right. Genevieve popped out for a second. My favorite Christmas memory is going to my grandparents' house in Indiana, and they are no longer with us, but it was always a big deal to be the one to read the Christmas story from Luke and to be able to stand up. And they had this like huge old family Bible, and to be able to stand there and read the Christmas story was like, as soon as you were able to read, they would pass it around and let the kids kind of show off their reading skills. So I remember one year it was my turn to do that, and I just felt like it was like this really amazing privilege to show off to my many cousins that I learned how to read. So it was a sweet thing. And my grandma would, they lived in this amazing Victorian house, and she would just decorate it, and there were manger scenes everywhere, and she just went all out, and she would bring out the really nice glassware, and she was a teetotaler. And so one of the funny things that happened for Christmas one year is that she had a bunch of apple cider that was left, maybe even from Thanksgiving, I don't know. And so she was pouring this apple cider for everybody, and it had fermented, and it was like alcohol, and people were basically drinking this really like hard cider, and nobody had the heart to tell her that it was had turned. So that was fun. The other thing that I the other thing that I love is just shopping for people who I care about and finding things that just make their day brighter, and being very thoughtful with gifts, and to think about things that might not be like the most expensive thing, but it's something that shows that I really care about them and that I value the things that are important to them.
That's awesome. Genevieve, did you leave the room so that you could compose yourself and come up with the awesomest story ever?
She was Googling what she likes for no kidding.
No, you guys, you are some of my favorite people, and you definitely did it. You have gotten me closer to crying than anybody else in my life ever has. Aww. So I really am not the biggest fan of holidays. I don't really like Christmas. Things were really, really hard, and I think that my favorite Christmas memory every year is just obviously being with my dad, but something that is just very touching to me is knowing John's mom. She's really done a lot for me in ways that I don't think that she realizes, and I just love her so much. Mm-hmm. And like I hate both of you so much right now. But she's made me see things in a way that I haven't before. And just like being around her at this time of year is really, it's something. And I can't tell her how much I appreciate having her in my life.
She's a great mom and just a fun lady, and I know her too. She brightens up my day every time I see her, and she really gets into Christmas. So yeah. For, if you've been around, if you've had difficult Christmas in the past and you're around someone who just, it makes it a fun time, that there's definitely a contrast there that you notice.
Yeah. Yeah, like you'll never meet somebody that cares more about you in 5 minutes of knowing you than you would if you've met her.
Mm-hmm.
What an awesome thing that you put that out there for her to hopefully somehow have it shared with her.
We'll like shove it right in her face. Look, I said nice things about you. No.
Just heads up, John Patton's mama, there's a section between like 45 minutes and 55 minutes of this episode you might not want to listen to.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So, Kent, you also asked the question, what Christmas means to us. So we talked about, some fond memories that we've all had about this holiday season. And Genevieve, like you, I put on a brave face, and I try to cheer up for my kids, but it's a pretty rough time for me as well. So while I obviously can't necessarily compare my experiences to some of the things you've gone through, I could certainly sympathize with you on it being a dark time, and it can have its downsides, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made it a point to and Kent, as you said, really make it about family. Getting a chance to reflect on. So, not to cheapen it, but to kind of make it another Thanksgiving, right? Time to reflect on the things that you have, or more specifically, the people that you have in your life, be they biological, extended, married family, or friends. I'm happy to count all of you among those, and really just kind of appreciate all the, count your blessings that you have in life, because you never know when it's not going to be there anymore, right?
Absolutely.
So that's really, I mean, we talked about all the gimmicky stuff and the purchases and the discount codes and all that, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. If I could wish for anything for Christmas, truthfully, I would want everybody to, at least for, even if it's just for a moment, to sit there and realize the things that they have, even amidst all the things that they don't have, and realize that they matter to somebody and that they can find peace and solace in that.
Absolutely. I love it, man. You want to hear kind of a funny, sad, lovable one? Because this is like kind of pathetic, but it's true. I learned that Santa doesn't exist from my dad.
Santa doesn't exist?
Well, sorry, kids.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We're done.
I didn't know this, but my father, he wasn't exactly like Mr. like family sweetheart guy. He's a great guy, but this kind of conversation, it would not have been his strong suit. And apparently it's a tradition that his grandfather, my grandfather passed to him. They played Santa for charities.
Cool.
They dressed up as Santa and went out for charities. And I learned there was no such thing as Santa when they decided to do it for the family. And I was like, that's Dad. Like, that's not Santa. Like, that's Dad. So I learned that a little early, but what I did get to experience was from then on, it was like our little Christmas secret kind of thing. And Dad took us with him to some places that, Santa was carrying a gun. Let's just be honest. Like, we went to the effing ghetto, and we did some Santa Christmas charity events for some kids that was their highlight of their whole Christmas. Like, my dad showing up with some toys that were bought by like a Rotary Club charity or something like that, and some oranges and apples and whatever, and handing them out was what those kids were going to get for Christmas. And as I grew into it and grew older and learned and realized, it occurred to me at a pretty young age, holy shit, there's a lot of people in this world who they really have it rough comparatively, and quite the blessing that we never had to want for any of that kind of stuff, and these kids all did. So it's kind of one of those things where it's always been like the running joke, like, am I going to be Santa for charity? And like, no, because I'm trying to get less fat, so I'm going to hopefully not fit the costume. But we we've done that in our family before, and we've seen intentionally some people who really, really were not well off, and hopefully we made a little bit of an impact doing that stuff. But
it does make an impact. It really does. I grew up on welfare, and some of the sweetest gifts that we would get, around the holidays were ones where people actually took the time to come and bring a meal or bring gifts. And that is a great tradition to have and it shows just along the lines of valuing people. There's a great group in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's called the Red Bag Ministry. And on Christmas Eve, we get these huge gift bags and we fill them up with all kinds of good food and presents. And we go door to door. I think we did like 500 bags last time. We start out in a warehouse and we have this big assembly line and we fill up these beautiful gift bags and then go to door to door in some of the poor neighborhoods in Lancaster and just knock on doors and just say, Merry Christmas, this gift is for you. And, to be able to participate in things like that it really underscores how important people are. You can sit and say like, you're worth it, you mean something, but if you don't treat people with dignity and actually like go out and do things, whether they're people or people you don't know, but you have to actually, if you believe that, then I encourage you to go out and find ways to let people actually know that they do matter and treat them with dignity and respect. Yep.
So, the most important thing you can do for your family is to be there for them. And I literally mean continue to be there for them. And we've got like another, 13 minutes or so. We would be remiss if we didn't give the two of you an opportunity to talk about Hold My Guns and how we're doing some work to make sure that people don't miss holidays like this. So that's the number one gift that you can give your family is the hell with the presents, the hell with this, the hell with that. Don't give them a tragedy and don't give them heartache. Don't give them problems. Don't give them something that they're going to wish you hadn't. Don't make a poor choice. Don't hurt yourself. Don't give in. That's my message on it. But we've got the founders of an awesome charity in the gun world that's doing something about it. So we'd be pretty remiss not to let you guys talk about that for a little bit, because it's one of the most important things that has like the four of us that are on this right now, had it not been for that and that idea, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So you guys, it's continued to come a long way, but why don't you share for those that this might be the first time they've heard of it, please.
Thanks. So Hold My Guns is a crisis firearms storage program that will be launching soon in select gun shops across the United States. And it's providing firearm storage for anyone who needs it with no questions asked. You do have to go through the consignment protocol just because it's a behind the counter storage option at gun shops. So there are, of course, things that you have to do to reduce liability and keep everything above board. But as to Kent's point, this time of year can be really difficult for people, and, it can bring back painful memories. And so if anyone out there is feeling that way, although we're not officially launched yet, we do know of several places, and we'll help you find something that's nearby. Even if we don't have a gun shop near you, we'll work with you to try to find something. And the idea is, if you're at a place where you need to take a break from lethal means, to safely store your firearms off-site is a wise idea until you get back on your feet. Holidays can be difficult. Anniversaries of painful memories, like the death of a loved one, can be difficult. Going through losses can be hard. And so, this time of year kind of stirs up all those things. If everyone around you is celebrating and they have family and you have some hurt there, it can be really painful. So having a plan in place, like knowing what to do with a firearm if you need to take a break, is a wise thing. And the other thing too is this time of year can be difficult with a lot of people coming into homes and visiting. And so if you have firearms in your home, just remember that if you have guests in your home, especially young children who are very curious, we encourage you to make sure that your firearms are safely stored. And if you feel like you need extra storage, we can help you to find a gun shop that can help to store them temporarily over the holidays too, just to make sure that your guests are safe as well. We don't want to create bad memories because of an accident. And so that's an option out there too. Mm-hmm.
I think you're muted, Ken.
Yeah, Kent, you got muted, buddy.
There you go.
My bad.
Yay.
Yay. Worthwhile, worthy cause. You guys are doing some great things. Look for more information on that at Hold My Guns on Instagram, holdmyguns.org. And Genevieve's been sharing some awesome content on Beyond the Unknown. So between those three places, you guys should be able to be kept up to date as to what's going on. But yeah, just be there for your families, man. Those of you that are having rough times, it can be a challenge, and we'd hate to add another statistic and have another heartbreak. So let's avoid that this holiday season. And then finally, TJ, I have a question for you. Have you ever been deployed during the holidays?
Yeah, actually I have. Let's see. There have been, and not just holidays, but birthdays, but Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Missed more of those than I can count.
Yeah, man.
We're getting the robot voice from you, Kate. You might want to do the reset thing.
How about that?
There we go.
An hour and 30 minutes every time.
Yep, every time. But yeah. So folks, let's remember that we do have some of my brothers and sisters that are not able to be home for holidays. I would encourage you to, if nothing else, send them a letter. Send them a Christmas card. Certainly, things have changed for our troops overseas from the time that I've been in, but even still, getting that stuff was always a joy to us. It was something we all kind of, we all joked about it, like, oh, this is so cheesy, but deep down, we all really appreciated it. Every time we would get, the crayon letters from, a local kindergarten school or kindergarten class, or Christmas cards, even from a church group or whatever the case might be, it was always appreciated. There are, and also keep in mind, there are going to be, as messed up as this is, there's going to be people that are scamming that as well, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm collecting goods for military overseas. I'm pretty positive that any reputable organization that's going to be doing that is not going to approach you in a parking lot. So be cognizant of that. A lot of church groups, a lot of schools do it around the holidays. So I'd encourage you guys, if you're interested in doing something like that, to check out those resources and jump on board with some of those programs, because they're fantastic. But yeah, man, it sucked, but we power through it. We always keep the mission first, and we've got plenty of stuff going on that keeps our minds occupied. I can tell you that much. And I will say this though, fun fact, dinners in Iraq and Afghanistan, especially around the holidays, were pretty awesome. They start they start rolling out all the good stuff. Like, Thanksgiving, they typically have, your turkey and ham and stuff. But on Christmas, they'll roll out, steak and lobster and more turkey and ham. And one of the really fun parts is they will typically have senior officers doing the serving. So they'll give a lot of the troops, a break. And, it's not uncommon around the holidays for you to go through the chow line and have a general like giving you a steak.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah. Yep. TJ, I have a question for you. What are good gifts to give loved ones who are deployed? What kinds of things would really make a difference in a package to them? So
if you've got loved ones deployed, I would always ask, or I would recommend that you ask what they need. A lot of places will send like, the disposable razors and body wash and like hygiene type items. Those are always good. But we typically have access to that stuff overseas. The one thing that we don't have access to typically is our preferred hygiene items. So especially if you've got a loved one who likes to use a particular soap or a shampoo or shaving cream or like they've got their brand that they prefer to use, they probably don't have it in the post exchange or on the base nearby. So actually, kind of personalize it a little bit. Stuff like that is always good. But magazines, movies, you do have a fair amount of bootleg DVDs and stuff like that. But it gets kind of old watching a movie that was recorded from an HD camcorder in a Taiwanese movie theater. But just stuff like that, just stuff to entertainment, get their minds off of it. Those are always helpful.
You really struck a chord with your brother and your other brother from another mother over here on chat. Cam and Jeff are going nuts. Beef jerky, baby wipes, candy, showers. All of a sudden, we started talking about being deployed, and the military side of our fan base was like, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, candy is a big one. Yeah, I always enjoyed getting like the Costco-sized bag of Swedish fish.
Ooh, Swedish fish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I always forget about them, and then
it's like crack for gingers. We love them.
Crack for gingers.
I guess I'm a ginger at heart. Then.
Yeah, but beef jerky, baby wipes is a good one. Because you got stuff that they can throw in their ruck. Another thing is portable solar battery backups that you can use to charge your cell phone and stuff. Because there are places with internet, and a lot of people will take their smartphone just to use it as a way to connect to the internet. So social media, stuff like that. But there's not always, you always end up running out of power or your battery dies. And even if you have a way to charge it, you're typically miles away from where you can charge it. But having little stuff like that where you could be a little bit more self-reliant, what is it? The jet boil kits, where it actually has like the little stove and pot that all kind of contains in itself. Those are really good. A little bit higher end type stuff, but that kind of stuff is fantastic.
Oh my goodness. JBL speakers, earbuds. Cam, why don't we just do a show about stuff you should send your deployed friends? Actually, we should probably do that and bring them on.
That's a fantastic idea. But yeah.
So I think we've nailed it, guys. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If you're listening, hearing the sounds of our voice, we appreciate your support. Like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Lead, Sling, and Ginger, Beyond the Unknown, Hold My Guns, Green Mountain Defense, The Gun Collective, TK Knives of Tennessee. Let's see what else. Oh, T-shirts? Should we tell them about T-shirts?
Yeah, we have merch.
Holy shit! We have T-shirts.
Yes, there is
a time for Christmas.
Yep, there is.
There it is again. That weird voice, man.
There is. I'm not gonna lie, it's creeping me out, but I kind of like it. But no, so there is a link to our there is a link to our Teespring store in the description below. Please visit that. We have at least one T-shirt design up so far. We've also got a mug and some stickers that you guys can order.
And a hoodie. Yep. There's a hoodie.
The hoodie hasn't launched yet. That one's kind of you can see that because you're an admin, but we're working on the hoodie part.
See the beep boop. I'll shut up.
Way to go, Ken.
Yeah, I fucking.
Well, no, we are working on that. But no, we launched our Freedom AR-15 shirt. It's a really cool design of my own making. That I have one from one of our original production runs. But this new one's a much better print. So yeah, head on over to Teespring and check out our storefront. Like I said, the link's in the description.
And please check out TJ's articles on the Gunpoint. TJ, our resident Ginger, is also a published author. I can't spell the word published or author, or maybe I would be as well, but he's putting out some great content.
That's what your editor is for. Yeah.
Go hit that up. Class schedule is booming and online. We've got a bunch of stuff at greenmountaindefense.com ready for sale, so get out there, buy classes. We're hosting a bunch of stuff. Holy smokes, just get there and support us. Please like, favorite, subscribe, and share. We'd love so much for you guys all to be around, and we hope that sincerely we can help you learn something or at least point you in the right direction. And most importantly of all, thank you, Genevieve, and thank you, Sarah. We couldn't have done this episode with two better people to have a heartfelt conversation about what the holidays mean. And let's be honest, we can't fit Felix for a microphone. So we emailed him, but he didn't get back to us. So, I mean, we'll just have to. You guys will do. It's fine.
We'll let him know. Yeah.
If you would, when you go downstairs, just give him a pat and a nose scratch for us. But
I will. I'll give him some pumpkin from you, Kent.
Please do. But you guys are the best. And one of the highlights of our year of the last year is getting to be friends with you guys. And it's been really awesome. So we appreciate the heck out of you. And can't wait to do this next year when we can talk about the baller year we had in 2020 and how psyched we are for Christmas and how Hold My Guns has its own island somewhere. And the Gun Collective has retired and gotten into blacksmithing, and you're biking around Europe or whatever. Like, who knows what'll happen in the next year.
Some future. Yeah.
I'm
65 days to do all that.
I'm planning it out. It'll be great. But sincerely, from our heart, we love you guys. TJ, you're the man. Appreciate the hell out of you. And looking forward to the next awesome show that we haven't announced yet. But it's going to be a good one.
Oh, absolutely, man. So Kent said it best, everybody. Like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're new to the podcast, tell your friends. Let's get more people involved in the live chat. We love taking your questions and input. It's always a great time. The live chat is lit, as the kids say these days. But before we go, before I do my typical sign-off, I want to sign off a little bit differently. Being that it is the Christmas season, I have one question for the folks that might be listening and the folks watching, and, of course, you three.
Oh.
Die Hard.
Oh God!
Christmas movie
Hold
or
on.
not?
Let me go pay for more bandwidth so we can go over this for the next 11 hours.
No, real simple. Yes or no? Christmas movie? Yes or no?
I'm gonna quote. Oh, I'm sorry, Genevieve. I stepped on you. What did you say?
I was just gonna if I answer this honestly, we will actually be here for another 10 hours because TJ will just be yelling at me.
No,
Let's do it.
I would never do that, but I might judge you as a human being.
I've never seen it. Yep, there it is.
Okay. I know what Genevieve's getting for Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
That's a good gift for Genevieve.
All right. Sarah, what do you say? Yes or no? Christmas movie or not?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I would say yes. That's a Christmas tradition. We could go with that. And one of my other favorite Christmas movies is A Christmas Story. I laugh at that every single time I see it.
No joke. It is it plays for 24 hours still to this day, every day on Christmas or every year on Christmas. And my dad will play it the entire day.
Wow.
Die Hard or the Christmas Story one?
A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay. I have seen that one.
I'm sitting over here like I get the wrong cable package. Where's Die Hard on 24 hours?
I got that on Amazon Prime. Kent, what about you, buddy?
I'm going to call an audible and quote Cam. There are two types of people, those who know Die Hard is a Christmas movie and those who are wrong.
I'm with Cam on that.
So
I kind of can't wait to see this because I don't understand why everybody keeps saying it's a Christmas movie.
That's our Christmas. We need to do that.
Well, it's going to be for me now because it's going to be a new tradition, apparently.
Yep.
Yes, it is a must. So, absolutely, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So with that, folks, if you think Die Hard's a Christmas movie, yes or no, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear what your input is. Let's start the social media war on this channel off right with some positivity and name calling and just downright diminutive, aggressive typing with whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. But with that, folks, God bless you all. Take care of each other. If we don't see you before then, Merry Christmas. We love you. Good night.